Is it live? Perfect. So we were trying to drag our feet just a little bit. President is over on main campus at a ceremony that was supposed to start at 3. He's running a little late. We're not going to wait. And then the Board of Trustees member who's supposed to be here is stuck on traffic, just like several of you were stuck on traffic. So we're not going to wait. So let me welcome you, distinguished guest, the president, the university, faculty, staff, students, family and friends, those gathered virtually and in person. I want to welcome everyone to the Mary Baldwin University Murphy-Deming College of Health Sciences White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2024. We're so happy to welcome all of you here today. And I'd like to ask the graduating students to come forward. Wow. A lot of people. Excellent, excellent. Receiving a white coat is a special moment. It is so much more than just looking really cool, and you guys do that already. A white coat ceremony is a rite of passage. During their first few weeks of class, these students came forward and received their first white coat. It was short. It represented their beginning as healthcare professionals, their commitment to acquire knowledge and skills, and their commitment to professional development. These students performed their initial history-taking practice on Friday mornings across the street at the hospital in their white coats. They performed numerous practical exams and OSCEs with their white coats. For the past year, they have lived in these white coats, obtaining histories, performing exams, and counseling patients. They may have even slept in their coats at the end of a very long day. The short coat became a regular part of their identity. You, their friends and loved ones, have noticed a change of identity in them. They have grown up in front of us. They were becoming healthcare professionals. A white coat is special. It is more than showing up for work in color-coordinated scrubs or having a stethoscope draped around your neck. The white coat represents their commitment to their patients and the professionalism to their healthcare colleagues. It signals their commitment to be compassionate, reliable, ethical, and collaborative, the traits we will recite with the PA oath in a few minutes. It is an outward representation of their inward development. I will say it again. You have seen them grow into their white coat over this past 2.5 years. We've seen that growth as well. They are becoming. Now, 2.5 years after receiving their short coats, they're ready to receive another coat, a longer coat. One that recognizes hard work, a lot harder than you thought, achievement, and readiness to continue their journey. Becoming a healthcare professional is a lifelong process, truly a journey. The faculty encourage you to receive these coats as a calling to provide competent and compassionate care and to continue your journey of development. Today, we are starting a new tradition. While the faculty get to invest you in their white coat, we also have a special lapel pin that is the badge that has been on your shoulder for the past 2.5 years. When you start your new job, you can wear this pin proudly, representing our program and honoring those who helped to get you here. I want to have a special recognition today, our distinguished guests. Hopefully President Stein will get here. It'll be his first white coat ceremony with us. And then I also want to welcome our Vice President of the Murphy-Deming College of Health Sciences, Todd Telemico. This is his first white coat ceremony with us as well. He joined us last summer and has been deftly guiding the college as we emerge from the pandemic. Dr. Telemico.
I'm a little shorter than Dr. Duduk, so I need to adjust this. First of all, I just want to say congratulations. This is a huge moment. As a doctoring profession myself, we also get white coats, and they mean a very similar thing. It is you entering into the profession. The difference today is you went from a novice, you're a full-fledged clinician now. And one of the greatest privileges I have as a faculty member is when I walk into a treatment room, which I don't like to do very often, which my wife will tell you that I avoid this like the plague, but when I see a face of a student that I worked with, or that I helped educate, or I helped guide through this journey, is a welcome experience. And I would welcome any one of you to take care of me or my family. And that's a huge thing to say, because I don't always say that. But you have earned that right to treat the public, your peers, your colleagues. These are no longer your professors, these are your colleagues, this is your network that you have grown. And you deserve this opportunity. This is exciting for me to be my first white coat ceremony here at Murphy-Deming, but it's certainly not my first white coat ceremony. Today, you think about a lot of things as a new clinician. I'm sorry I'm not looking at you, but I'm really talking to them. This is their day. This is a really unique thing for you because, I think when you get to PA school, you think, okay, this is the first step of my journey, right? And you've answered this calling, this vocation of being a physician's assistant, okay? Or physician assistant, I shouldn't say physicians, a physician assistant. You stand on your own 2 feet. You have answered that calling. You answered it, you came, you worked your tails off. I've heard the stories. I've known of your suffering as a fellow graduate student, but you persevered. Not because of a paycheck, not because of all those things that we think about as we enter a profession that pays pretty good. It's because you desire to make a difference in the well-being of other people. Every day you wake up, you'll put your white coat on, or some of you may not get to put the white coat on because you work in a situation you can't wear it, but you invest in that white coat. It becomes part of you and is an outward symbol to the rest of the community of your status. And I don't mean status as in you're better than everybody else. It's your status as a helping professional who's there to take care of someone else and put their needs above your own. And that is a huge, huge burden and privilege at the very same time. I challenge you every day to remember that when the times are tough, when the families are in your face and they're demanding of you and you're trying your best and they can't see what you're doing and you feel the pressure and you want to just run and like, I can't do this anymore, remember that only you can provide that service. You have to be that guiding light. You have to be that calming presence among all that chaos. That is your calling. I congratulate you on this moment. I wish Eloise Chandler, our Board of Trustee Chair, was here to hear that, or Dr. Stein. I think if you are not a clinician, you really don't understand sometimes that pressure that's placed on you. You just can't get it. It is a unique experience. It is a unique feeling that all clinicians share, regardless of what the title behind your profession is. If you care for patients and you put them first, every single one of us feel that pressure and that desire to help someone else. Carry that with you. And remember, when it's tough, take a step back, take a deep breath. And remember, they're counting on you and your skills. You've worked so hard to get here. I can't say any more than that. Congratulations and Godspeed. And I can't wait to hear about all the wonderful experiences you take and the students that you take on as new preceptors, right? And so hopefully you'll serve in that next role as our alumni, as our graduates, as the next tier of Murphy-Deming in the healthcare world. So congratulations. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to acknowledge the faculty. They're a passionate, creative, and inspiring bunch. They are a community that fosters professional development and growth for each student, and sometimes it's like herding cats. They do so much more than deliver content and lectures. Please stand and remain standing as I call your names. Our medical director, Dr. Ben Farley. Our Director of Clinical Education, who is going to be retiring as of next week and has guided this program deftly as today. Wow. So you're not showing up on Monday? Whit Werman. Our incoming Director of Clinical Education, the person who will be trying to fill those shoes but then going in new directions, Megan Adey. Unfortunately, our Director of Academic Education, Jennifer Hunt, can't be with us today, but we need to recognize her as well. And our core faculty, Emily Green, Caitlin Powers, Dr. Felicia Esteban, and our newest faculty member, Chesney Carroll. Somewhere hiding in the back is our clinical assistant, Emily Ann DePoy. And it always embarrasses her, but I have to say it, the glue that holds this whole place together, who goes by Queen Donna, was that the Powerhouse? I apologize. Donna Bletz. Thanks, guys. So I think we're moving on to our reflections next. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome Dr. Rob Kyler here today as our speaker. Dr. Kyler and I have been cycling buddies for several years. It was on a ride 5 years ago that we talked about student well-being and professional development. Rob shared his work with medical students, and I instantly knew that Murphy Deming needed his wisdom. We sent Caitlin Powers to a training conference, and with Rob's help, we launched a special elective, the Healer's Art. The class of 24 became our inaugural participants in the Healer's Art. By offering this course, we became the first PA program in the state and indeed the region to offer such a curriculum. And it's with thanks to Rob's wisdom and generosity that we were able to do so. When Dr. Kyler is not helping us dramatically improve our program, he is a physician across the street at Augusta Health and provides care as a radiation oncologist. Students, faculty, and guests, please help me in welcoming Dr. Rob Kyler to our white coat.
Yes, is this, yes. All right, well, after Dr. Duduck asked me to deliver the address today, I started to reflect on the address at my own medical school graduation a couple of years ago, and and a couple decades maybe. Anyhow, and I reflected on what I learned from that talk and what I've carried with me since that time, and I could sum it up in one phrase, and that is absolutely nothing. I don't know what they said. I don't even know who it was that spoke. So if you guys remember even one of the pearls of wisdom I'm going to cast in your direction for the next few minutes, by the time you recover from your hangover tomorrow, I will consider this a successful talk. So So my involvement with you all, at least some of you, was with the Healer's Art class. And for those of you that didn't take it, and those of you that don't know what it is, it's a 5-session elective. And the first group took it in their evening. So those of you that took it came out of your own time. There are 4 topics. The first week's topic is discovering and nurturing your wholeness. And for those of you that didn't take it, what this means is there are undoubtedly aspects of your personality and your identity that you have maybe put on the back burner or tried to hide. Some people call it the shadow self. But it's really aspects of your personality, yourself, that you feel perhaps are not welcome or not consistent with the medical culture. And the idea of this session was really to recognize them and embrace them and to use them when you can. You know, it took me a while in my own practice to realize that my bringing humor into patient interactions was something that was not only not inappropriate, but could be used in a very effective way. And so you wouldn't think that in a cancer center, humor would be a big role, but actually I can't think of a better place for it, to break the ice and to bring some bit of levity into an otherwise very serious situation. So whatever it is you feel, and you may yet to discover it, but feel, you know, you need to bring your own authentic self into the practice of what you're going to be doing. The second and third sessions were on grief and loss. And just to remind you that as you move forward through your career, it will not all be sunshine and light and happy smiles. You will see and experience some sad situations where you will grieve. And it's important to recognize those for what they are and to work with them, but to also use your own experiences in your own personal lives with grief and loss and disappointment to allow you to connect with patients, because you will find yourself, as I have many times, in a situation with a patient where all you have, literally all you can offer them, is your presence and your ability to listen. And it's more than a placebo, it's more than an expression, it's real. It's part of your toolbox, and so use it, okay? The fourth session, everybody's favorite, was awe and wonder. And that's just to say that in addition to the grief and loss, you will experience some pretty amazing things, some wonderful things, regardless of what field you go into. Take the time to recognize that. Also realize that not everything you see and experience can be explained by medicine and science and logic. You will also encounter situations where the big questions of life are going to come up. You know, what happens when someone gives up the ghost? Why do horrible things happen to really good people? Why is it then when you butter a piece of bread and you drop it, it always lands with the buttered side down? We don't know. We'll never know. But these are important questions that you will get to ponder more often than you know, people you went to school with that chose some other field to go on to. So just be open to them. And the final session is on service as a way of life. And for me, nothing epitomizes that more than the story of the stonecutters, which I think I told my small group before. But back in medieval times, there were these stonecutters, and these were men who were given these massive stones, and they had to cut them down to sizes, to blocks that would fit into the cathedrals and the palaces of Europe. And the story goes that you go to the first stonecutter and you ask him, what do you do? And he says, what does it look like? You know, I cut blocks every day. You know, it's all I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's toil and toil till the day I die. You ask the second person, what do you do? He says, well, I'm a stonecutter. And yeah, it's hard work, but it allows me to put a roof over my family's head. It allows me to provide food and clothing. It's hard, but I'm grateful for it. And you ask the third stonecutter, what do you do? And he just gestures up at this cathedral that's going up. And, you know, yeah, it's hard work, but I'm part of something bigger than me. This will stand for the ages. And this is how I find meaning in what I do. In your practice, you will work with and encounter providers who sort of personify these different attitudes towards their work. For some, it's just a way to make a living. For some, they hate every minute of it. And for some, hopefully most of you, at least at this point in your career, will find that there is meaning in it beyond the work and the reimbursement and everything else. But it's important for you to realize that you have to take care of yourselves. You cannot take care of anyone else unless you yourself are well, physically and mentally and emotionally. And as you've probably heard, burnout is a very real thing in the medical field these days. It's always been, but we just talk about it more openly. And like all of the conditions you've learned to diagnose and treat, early detection is key, knowing the symptoms. And the three most common symptoms of burnout are, number one, emotional exhaustion, when you don't feel anything. You've basically cut yourself off from what it is you're feeling, good or bad. The second symptom is depersonalization. So when you see your patients not as people, but as symptoms, as diseases, as procedures. And the final one is a lack of a sense of personal accomplishment, feeling that what you do really doesn't matter. Be aware of this. It's going to happen to some degree to everyone here. This is not what you want to hear on the eve of your career, but you know, going with your eyes open, it is an occupational hazard. What you've chosen is a challenging career. It's extremely rewarding on many levels, but it has its pitfalls. Don't be embarrassed to admit it. Seek help. Talk to your peers. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to get professional help if and when this becomes an issue. Because again, you cannot take care of others unless you take care of yourself. And my final bit of wisdom to impart on you is, even though you've already learned a lot, there's a lot that you don't know. And do not ever be scared or embarrassed or scared to admit or to say the words, I don't know. I started practice as an arrogant 29-year-old. Right out of residency, I went to work on my own, and I thought I knew it all. I knew a lot. I was book smart. I'd seen a lot of things clinically, but there were a lot of things I discovered early on that I didn't know. And I think what kept me out of trouble was recognizing that I think I knew what I didn't know, and that is really important. The people that are dangerous are the people, it's not that you can't know everything, but be aware of what you don't know. The dangerous ones are the people that don't know what they don't know. And so I had a really good ending for this. What was it going to be? Can't remember. Anyhow, that's it. Take that with you. I don't know what I was going to say, but anyhow, that's it. Congratulations on a job well done, and I look forward to seeing you across the street as coworkers and collaborators.
Thanks, Rob. I would like to ask the class president, Phil Detrana, and the vice president, Maddie Prier, to stand and receive our thanks. Thank you both for your service and to your classmates in the school, and they now have a few words for us. Come on forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, faculty, staff, friends, and most importantly, my fellow physician assistant graduates. Wow, can you believe we're finally here? Graduation, the long white coat ceremony. Can you believe that we met each other in this very building 2.5 years ago? Personally, I find it amazing, and the time has gone by so quickly. Our time here certainly hasn't been a walk in the park. Late night study sessions, living off of coffee and sheer determination, all those clinical rotations where we ship from state to state every 6 weeks. To put just part of our education into perspective for those visiting, I did something fun, and I added up how many PowerPoint slides we sat through in just our first clinical medicine class during one semester. The total was a whopping 3,933 slides.
One class.
Yeah. That was just one class, one semester. But hey, we made it through all of it and even managed to keep some semblance of sanity along the way. But through the laughter and tears, We've become more than just classmates. We've truly become a family. And as we step out into the real world, let's carry that sense of camaraderie with us, because we're going to need each other now more than ever.
So this moment marks the end of a chapter in our lives and the start of our journey as healthcare providers. As we don our white coats today and embark on our careers, let's remember the responsibility that we have to uphold the highest standards of care and compassion. Let's be advocates for our patients, the ones that they need, the healers that they trust, and the voices that they deserve. So here's to us, the class of 2024. We couldn't be more proud to be your class leadership, and we can't wait to see the amazing things that you'll all accomplish. Now, let's go out and show everyone how awesome physician assistants can be.
Thanks, guys. I would like to ask, in a second, I'm going to ask the graduating students to look at the oath that's in the program, page 3. These words echo your commitment to professionalism that is demonstrated in your white coats, a commitment to competent and compassionate care. Just to make sure everyone knows what they're about to recite, beneficence is the act of doing good towards others within a context of a moral obligation. And non-malevolence is another moral obligation not to inflict harm on others. This oath reminds us that the white coat is not a superhero cape. It is a commitment to recognize our capabilities and, as Rob said, sometimes our limitations. To always strive for improvement and to work collaboratively with professionals for the welfare and dignity of those in our care. I would like to ask Professor Werman to come forward and lead the students in reciting the oath. Please stand.
Okay, you ready? All right. Oh, yeah, okay. Benjamin. Okay, you ready? Okay. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-malfeasance, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor.
We used to give you your white coats and then do the pledge, but we wanted you to do the pledge first and then get the white coats. So it's now time to receive those bright white, starched, and beautiful long white coats. First, however, I have some instructions. In a second, you'll stand and file back that way to the corner where you started your day. Redo your alphabetical order, please, so that you get the right white coat. I don't want Gina's going on somebody else. You'll come back around through this back turn. There's a white spot here on the floor where you'll get your white coat. There's a white spot there that you'll turn for the photographer. And then there'll be a few hands that you'll shake and then return to your seat. Does that make sense? Okay, we'll figure it out as we go along. Be very mindful of the photographer moment. Don't step in front, please. So go ahead and stand and sit on around. And you guys are headed back corner where you began today. Oh, we're going in reverse order. Wow, you guys are smarter than I am. Okay, you guys are smarter than I am. Duly noted. You guys ready? Yeah. If you needed it.
Okay.
And then when you're done,
This is you.
that's me. See you in two. Are you guys ready?
Haley Barnes. Ryan Boyles. Chandler Bridgers. Gina Chen. David Clark. Joseph Clift. Nicole Cutler. Philip Detrana. Allison Dickinson. Olivia Eby. Allison Fox. Chandler Gavin. Taylor Geddes. Madison Gillard.
Emily Hackley. Amber Harshfield. Kate Hoffmeyer. Jessica Ursink. Amberly Keys. Hannah Cutthree. And her biggest fan. Valentina Macero. Michaela Miller Bergeron. Natalie Muir. Shannon Murphy. Anna Michelle Pack. Ria Patel. Sweetu Patel. Elena Perryman. Madison Prier. Nathan Raver. Christina Rossi. Emily Santala. Eloise Sharp. Nicole Southwick. Matthew Wiesel. Sophia Way. Riley Wilcox.
Thanks, guys. I believe they deserve a big round of applause. Today, we celebrate every one of these great individuals. Their hard work and dedication may have surprised some of them, but not us. They have earned this day, this ceremony, and their white coats. I'm going to go slightly off script. These students, soon to be graduates, had to sit for their final comprehensive exam on Monday. A simple 300-question exam that covered everything that they had to learn over the last 2.5 years. The usual low-stakes kind of a test that we do in the PA world. I want to let them know, and you know, how they did. The national average was 516, whatever that means. The class average was 576. Whereas the national percentage of those who scored as an advanced level is 24%, this class was 70% at the advanced level. They are not just good or good enough or good looking. They are way above average compared to the nation, and we know that. While they are rather impressive as a whole, a few have distinguished themselves and deserve special recognition. I would like to invite Dr. Farley and some of the faculty forward to help present the class awards this year.
So Dr. Kyler said whatever I had to say would pale in comparison to what he had to say. And even though you forgot your ending, it's true. All right, so our first award is for the Didactic Excellence Award. This award goes to the student with the highest GPA after their first 4 semesters of classroom learning. This class had several students with 4.0 grade point averages, and therefore we had to go with the highest numerical average to determine this award. This student also was an excellent clinical student, and one of her preceptors had to say this about her. This student is simply one of the best students to have rotated in our clinic. While she remains early in her student rotation career, she is the most professional, concerned, well-communicating, organized, and interested student we have had. This applies to our pool of medical students, PA students, and internal medicine and family medicine residents alike. She will excel in whatever field of physician assistant medicine she chooses. Her devotion, empathy, and interest will carry her far. We would welcome her back anytime. And the winner of this year's Didactic Excellence Award is Allison Dickinson. the Clinical Excellence Award goes to the PA student with the highest grade point average after our 8 6-week clinical rotations. Again, multiple students had 4.0 GPAs after their clinical rotations. And so again, we had to determine the highest numerical grade to determine our winner. I don't have to read another preceptor quote for this year's winner of the Clinical Excellence Award, as it also goes to Allison Dickinson. The PA Student of the Year Award is decided by the PA Program Director and the PA faculty. The award is given to a student who exemplifies the traits and qualities of an outstanding physician assistant. One of this student's preceptors had this to say: his performance was absolutely superb. He functions at a very high level. He did very well overall. I was surprised at his medical knowledge, being only halfway through his clinical clerkship. He will be an outstanding PA. He is certainly someone I would consider hiring in my practice. And another supplied this evaluation: this student worked hard to improve every day, always had a smile and a great attitude, and was always willing to help. I think that last quote describes this year's PA Student of the Year Award, the recipient, very well. Nathan Raver. See if I can get this name right. The Linda Seastead Stanford Leadership Award is given at commencement to graduates in the founding graduate programs, PA, PT, OT, who exhibit excellence in academics, clinical performance, and in service and leadership activities during their time in the program. This exceptional opportunity is made possible through the generosity of Angela Blose Corley, class of 1967, whose lifetime commitment to the university is greatly appreciated. Selection criteria included clinical performance, service and leadership, and in addition to this recognition, this award also comes with $1,000. Of this student, one of her preceptors summarized this student very well. This student was a pleasure to have in this rotation. Her technical skills, knowledge, compassion, and professionalism will lend well to all of her future endeavors. She will make an excellent PA. This year's Linda Seastead Stanford Leadership Award goes to Nicole Southwick. The Outstanding Faculty Award is chosen by the students. Unfortunately, I was not privy to student comments about this faculty member, but clearly she is loved and highly respected by her students, and she is an excellent teacher, advisor, fellow faculty member, and friend. And she has a vice grip on this award and won't relinquish it. The Outstanding Faculty Award winner is yet again Emily Green. The Outstanding Lecturer Award is again decided by students and is given to the most highly valued guest lecturer. The winner this year is again a repeat winner. She has been working with our program since its inception, teaching dermatology as our first module in our first clinical medicine class. Our students had this to say about this year's winner: she is incredibly knowledgeable in her material and was able to give us a real-life look at what has worked best for her patients. Wonderfully organized slides, passionate about her field, willing to address topics, again, that students did not understand. This year's Outstanding Lecturer Award again goes to Molly McIntyre, who is not with us as she lives in Pittsburgh. The Outstanding Preceptor Award is also chosen by our students. This year's winner has been an integral part of our educational team for the last several years. He works with students during the clinical phase of the program and immerses them in a very hands-on experience in women's health. The students work with him in the clinic, take call, and are by his side in the hospital and operating room settings. One student commented, "Dr. Tuning," now you know the award winner, "has really figured out how to be a great provider and a great educator. The experience was truly phenomenal and really grew my love for women's health." And another had this to say, "An amazing mentor, educational, knowledgeable, patient, and kind. He instills confidence while encouraging us to think for ourselves." This year's Outstanding Preceptor Award, who is also not here today, correct? Okay, goes to Dr. Mark Tuning. And finally, we have 5 students this year who were chosen to be inducted into Pi Alpha, the National PA Honor Society. Student membership requires a minimum GPA of 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. They easily accomplished that and demonstrated excellence in research, publishing, community or professional service, or leadership activities. And per Pi Alpha, not more than 15% of the graduating class can be chosen for induction. All 5 of this year's inductees have been excellent students in both their didactic and clinical phases of their education, with all 5 graduating with a 4.0 grade point average. They are excellent people to boot, and they will make fantastic PAs as well. The following people have been, and you may come up after I call your name, have been invited to join Pi Alpha. Philip Detrana, there you go. Allison Dickinson. Olivia Eby. Chandler Gavin. And Sophia Way. Fantastic. Congratulations, guys. You all deserve awards.
I believe the class of 2024 has put together a video, so I'll step out of the way. We are coming towards the close today. You have taken an oath that states your commitment to your patients, colleagues, and profession. You have been invested with the long white coat, an outward symbol of this journey you're on. You are prepared more than you know to cross another threshold. I want to recall the words from the hymn for Mary Baldwin that I think speak to this special moment. Friendship, honor, sorrow, laughter are the ways by which we learn. Knowledge first, then wisdom after. Love that seeks not for return. Today, we celebrate your growth over the past 2.5 years. You're all pretty amazing and have blossomed so much. Today, the faculty want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of that journey, and we welcome you as colleagues. Today, all of us gathered, friends, classmates, family, everyone in person and online, celebrate this milestone. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, friends, and family, I present to you these heroic healers, the Mary Baldwin Murphy Deming PA Class of 2024. And that concludes things. You're welcome to gather as many photos as you want, and I think there's a brief reception upstairs.